Hello, this is John Dobbs, preaching minister for Forsyth Church of Christ with an encouraging word. Anxiety is a word that we hear often these days, and it's because so many people are struggling with it. We know there are different kinds of anxiety. There are some of which really disrupt our lives. It can be characterized by episodes of panic, by sleep issues, racing thoughts, and a whole list of other things that really can disrupt our lives. And one article I read indicated that 31% of Americans suffer from some kind of anxiety disorder in their lives. That makes it one of the most common mental health issues and conditions in our country today. And there's no shame in seeking mental health. If you are struggling with anxiety at a severe level, please seek out help and get some real help from people who know what to do. Those things are out of our control. So if you suffer from that kind of anxiety, it's hard. But there's a lower level of anxiety that sometimes we just call worry. And if you don't have an overwhelming anxiety disorder, you certainly know what it means to worry. And there are so many things that trigger the restlessness, the distracting thoughts, the focus on things that are important, and things that can go wrong. We worry about our children. We worry about our marriages. We worry about our work. In fact, anything that we're concerned about can morph into a sense of worry. When I read through the Bible, Apostle Paul, he had a reason to be worried about a lot of things. He was in prison, but not for a crime. He was unable to go and visit the churches he had established and see the friends he had made in Christ and try to encourage them like he wanted to do. But he was in chains, and on his heart were the many churches and Christians he knew. So he had a lot to worry about, but he wrote something that should help us in stressful times, things that you can identify with, things you're worried about. Here's what he said about that kind of worry. In Philippians 4 and verse 6, he said, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." So he encourages us that when the issues of life and the concerns of life are weighing us down, that we should turn to God and give those worries to God. And he also reminds us that there are a lot of things that we should be grateful for. And so present your requests to God and do that with thanksgiving. But it may seem like when we're dealing with worry that it's an odd time to be grateful. This doesn't seem like the natural thing. But when we are grateful and thankful during times of worry, what we're doing is we're shifting our attention away from the things that are weighing us down, the things mostly that we know are never going to happen and things we can't do anything about. And so we've consumed our thoughts with those things. And if we can shift our thoughts away from those uncontrollable things and put them on the blessings that we have, the things that we can thank God for, the things that we can be grateful for. It reminds us that God is present, that He's with me. I do have things to be thankful for. He is here. He does love me. He is hearing me. He is moved by my prayers. And so that may not answer every question we have, and I don't want to present it as a Band-Aid, just say a prayer and be thankful and all your worries will go away. But I think it's the habit of praying and giving thanks when we're worried that ultimately will help us to grow in our trust of God. And those anxieties that we have will start to wane a little bit. And it does give us a pathway forward. So who's dealing with anxiety? Everyone. Who needs to pray and be thankful? Everyone. And when's a good time to start that? How about right now? Why don't you take a moment and thank God for the blessings you have and ask Him to help you to think less about the things that have been weighing you down that you can't control and think more about His presence and His gifts in your life. At Forsyth Church of Christ, we hope this has been an encouraging word.